Near the hotel and on the street that both bear his name sits Nathaniel Hawthorne on a magnificent throne of granite and bronze. Looking closely, one can see on a corner of the statue the name Bella Pratt, 1916. Born in 1867 in Norwich, Connecticut, the artist studied at Yale. Like Roger Conan just up the street, this statue was first displayed at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. It was there for 12 years before being moved to its current location when the Hawthorne Hotel was opened in 1925, with an address by Judge Alden Pearly White. The pedestal was cut and erected by the Rockport Granite Company. The Salem Public Library has one of the programs from the dedication. This was young Nathaniel's neighborhood. He was born at 27 Union Street, and his boyhood home was at 10 Herbert Street. He referred to that house as Castle Dismal. One of his favorite haunts was the cemetery at the Burying Point on Charter Street, where his ancestors had been laid to rest. In later years, he fell in love with Sophia Peabody, whose family lived in a house right next to that cemetery. Nathaniel spent time with his cousin Susan Ingersoll at the Turner House, which became known as the House of the Seven Gables because of one of his books. Hawthorne was given a job at the nearby Custom House. It was the setting of his introduction to The Scarlet Letter.
Its front is ornamented with a portico of half a dozen wooden pillars, supporting a balcony beneath which a flight of wide granite steps descends towards the street. Over the entrance hovers an enormous specimen of the American eagle, with outspread wings, a shield before her breast, and, if I recollect aright, a bunch of intermingled thunderbolts and barbed arrows in each claw. With the customary infirmity of temper that characterizes this unhappy fowl, she appears, by the fierceness of her beak and eye, and the general truculency of her attitude, to threaten mischief to the inoffensive community, and especially to warn all citizens, careful of their safety, against intruding on the premises which she overshadows with her wings. Nevertheless, vixenly as she looks, many people are seeking, at this very moment, to shelter themselves under the wing of the federal eagle, imagining, I presume, that her bosom has all the softness and snugness of an eiderdown pillow. But she has no great tenderness, even in her best of moods, and sooner or later, oftener soon than late, is apt to fling off her nestlings with a scratch of her claw, a dab of her beak, or a rankling wound from her barbed arrows.
A few hundred feet from the statue is the Gardner Pingree House. Hawthorne described this house as the Old Manse in the introduction to The Scarlet Letter. It was also the scene of a grisly murder in 1830 when wealthy merchant Captain Joseph White was stabbed repeatedly on the night of April 6th. In the rush to find the culprit, there was a rumor that young Nathaniel Hawthorne, who was only seen at night as he wandered the neighborhood alone and avoided any human contact, was surely the maniac responsible for this bloody death. The 26-year-old recluse was soon left alone again when the murderers turned out to be doomed Captain White's eager nephews and heirs via their hired assassins. Their trial brought attorney Daniel Webster to Salem, which delighted Nathaniel.